Jay here. I'm here to bring you a review on Samurai Jack Season 5, Episode 5. So this episode begins with like an army approaching, like, I guess, Aku's like castle. And it's led by a very familiar face if you watched Samurai Jack, like the old seasons. So anyways, it's led by the Scotsman, uh a rival and friend of Samurai Jack from the old seasons. And he's leading an army of his daughters, like they're all his daughters. And then it's an army of men in like tanks. And it goes to Aku. And he's like, what's up with all this noise and all that shit? And then I guess one of his like servants or whatever was like, yeah, we're being under attack. So he goes to the side, unzips like some portal TV or whatever it was, and he looks at him, and then he says, this will, like, I guess, fucking make him not be bored or whatever. Said, I don't know what he said or whatever, like, but like, he just went up from like out of his castle, turn into a big ass ball, and start killing all the fucking dudes that like were in the tanks. Just rolling over him like a fucking ball, just killing them. Then the Scotsman notices that Aku's just killing all them dudes, and he tells his daughters to retreat, like go back, and he'll take care of Aku. So the Scotsman goes to Aku. So just when Aku was about to like kill his daughters, because he told all his daughters, like his army of daughters, to retreat, um Aku gets interrupted by the Scotsman, because the Scotsman makes it to Aku. And Aku's like, I think you're lost, old man. And then the Scotsman's like, no, I think you're just scared. You're scared that the samurai is gonna come and defeat you. You just been hiding in fear and all that shit. And he's been going on and on talking shit. And then Aku blasts him with like his laser beam from his eye and just turns him to dust and bones. Like, damn, it was brutal. Like, fuck, he just obliterated him. Then the Scotsman daughters sees like him get obliterated, and like two of his daughters, just two, and like they're sad that their like dad died, because Aku, after he killed him, he just went back into his castle. And then they walk up, and then a ghost just comes out of the ash of the Scotsman, like the Scotsman's ash. A ghost comes out, and he says, yeah, I'm still alive from the magic from this sword that like flickered at away from when Aku basically fucking disintegrated his body. The sword flicked away, and I guess that sword turned him into a ghost. So then his fucking daughters say, what do we do now? And the Scotsman's like, we go find Jack and we end this once and for all. Once and for all, sorry. Then it goes to Ashi, and she's just sitting there thinking about what her mom said and what Samurai Jack said. Said that Aku created everything, and said that Aku destroyed everything. So she's kind of confused and don't know what to believe. So then she starts seeing her mom as the moon, like her mom's face. And like she's telling her like, I want the truth. I want the truth, mom. And she's like, no, like you failed us. And then it becomes fucking daytime, and she looks back, and I guess Jack dove into the water. And then Jack comes up and with like a fucking water dragon and tells Ashi to get on. So Ashi gets on the water dragon, and they just go in the ocean and shit, and they ride it like to some fucking island or whatever. And then Jack just says bye to Ashi and says, just walks away. He just says bye and just walks away. And then Jack is just sitting there, and then he has a campfire, and he's looking to the fire, and he's still seeing like fucking people screaming or whatever, and he's like saying no, no, no. And then Ashi shows up out of nowhere, and she starts demanding like the truth from Jack. And Jack's like no at first. Then he's like, like she starts bickering and shit, and then he's like, you know what? Okay, I'll show you the truth. Just in the morning, have patience. Then she flips up on top of the rock and starts looking up to the stars, and she starts telling Jack like, what? Where did the stars come from? Did Aku create those? And Jack's like, no, he didn't create those. Well, my parents used to tell me a story about the sun and the moon riding a phoenix to the skies and shooting stars into the sky. There's billions of stars. That was a weird story, but so moving on after that, it's morning. And so Jack's showing her like the truth and everything. And first he shows her a tree that's just alone by itself. And he just tells her to look around and just imagine a bunch of trees. And that Aku's the reason why there isn't a bunch of trees there. Like he destroyed all the trees but one. And then he shows her Aku City. And then it shows Aku City like a bunch of merchants and all that shit. And you see Jack just stealing clothes. So Jack puts on the disguise and they go on some elevator on top of, like, I guess it's the like main building to like Aku City. And they see some criminal like show up. And then the criminal's like, am I accepted here? They say people like me are accepted here. And then the assistant or whatever is like, yeah, we accept people right here. And then the assistant's like, this is where you're gonna stay. And it's like it has people that living in peace and shit, like little kids playing and all that shit. And the criminal's like, it's like occupied. And then the assistant's like, is that a problem? And then I guess like that was a sign for him to go kill him in order for him to go live there. And then the fucking criminal just starts smiling. And then Samurai Jack's like, yeah, this is just evil right there. Then Samurai Jack and Ashi get to some like broken down city that's been attacked or whatever. And you see a lot of bodies everywhere. And Ashi's like, I don't want to see no more. I see the truth. And then Samurai Jack's like, yeah. And then they hear some dude saying help. So they run and just move the things off of the dude that's saying help. And they say like, what happened? And he's like, the factory. Like, yeah, he just says the factory. And then so Ashi and Samurai Jack walk to the factory. And then you see some hand like turning the knob. And you see some noise. And then the doors open, like a door opens. And you see like a bunch of like, I guess, kids of the blue person that they saw saying help me, the species that he was, but kids. And the sound just starts making them go wild, like Fritz just chasing after Jack and Ashi. And then Jack throws fucking Ashi like on top of one of those fucking thing in the factory or whatever, and he says, go find the source. And then Jack is just running from those things. So as Jack is running from them things, Ashi's like walking around trying to look for the source. And she gets to some room and she gets captured by like the main dude that was turning the knob and all that shit to open the door for them fucking gremlin looking things. And when she gets captured by the main dude, she's getting shocked by that dude. Like, he finds her and he squeezes her cheek saying that she's fucking beautiful and shit and all that shit. And he's fucking shocking her and all that shit. And fucking Samurai Jack is getting chased by those things, getting bit by those things, hopping into a fucking window, trying to escape these things. They're just finding them everywhere, biting them and all that shit. Then it goes back to Ashi. And Ashi's getting shocked. And like, she's getting tired of getting shocked. So she just breaks free. Like, her hands are like they're clamped by a bunch of these like fucking claws that have her feet and her hands. She pulls out of them and just runs after the fucking main dude and just hits his helmet off and just fucks him up. And so after she punched him, he landed into the corner and he blew up. Like, he just blew up. So after that, it goes back to Jack. And Jack's like still getting bit by those things. And those things just like, I guess they stop getting controlled and they just fall and like just fall back. And Jack thinks they died. So like in his head, like he killed some more innocents. So and then he sees that fucking that samurai on a horse again, like that ghost green looking fucking thing that's been following him everywhere, and it says it's time, and Jack says yeah okay, and he walks away with that thing that he's been seeing all these fucking 5 episodes. So Ashi shows up and says, Jack, we did it. And then those things start waking up, and Jack thought they were dead, so they're just asleep or passed out from being like controlled by those fucking, well, controlled by that main dude and all that shit. So Jack, not knowing that they're still alive, he walked away with that thing, and then the episode ended. So this episode was cool, like, and brutal. Like when Aku like rolled over them dudes like as a ball, like just killing them. That was fucking brutal. And when he fucking killed the Scotsman by just obliterating him, just fucking turning him to ash. Fuck, that was brutal right there. Like this episode was fucking just brutal, just brutal up the ass, and I really enjoyed it. Fuck, I really enjoyed it. Like I thought Samurai Jack was gonna come back and be like, you know, all like just for kids. But no, it came back fucking brutal with blood, all that shit. And I'm just enjoying every bit of it. So, I'm Jay, and this is my review on Samurai Jack Season 5, Episode 5. So, thank you for watching. Catch you on my next video.